welcome to another edition of Moron vs. Fanboy. I'm Lon Lopez from MoronLife.com.
And I'm Derek McCaw from FanboyPlanet.com. We are two self-styled pop culture experts sharing our opinions with you till our robot overlords make us stop.
You have a robot overlord?
We all do.
Oh, wow. Can you introduce me to mine?
We're going to talk about it a little later.
Oh, really?
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Is his name Jesus?
No.
Oh, okay. Before we get started this week, Derek, just another gripe I had this week.
Because you're always so happy-go-lucky.
You know, and also, too, maybe some of the guys here can chime in. Also, we got our director, Rudy Loida, and assistant segment producer, Dave McGuire here.
Since Sears stopped selling Husky jeans.
What's Sears?
Oh,
I don't
good
know.
point.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Oh, clever.
So this week, I just kind of noticed something, and I think it's a generational thing. We're a little past.
You're this generation's Andy Rooney.
Maybe. You know what really, what's he saying? You know what
It doesn't really matter because nobody gets what we're talking about right now.
Anyways, so do you use personal headphones at all? Do you need to put stuff in your ears to hear? I mean, not in that way. But
You mean like if I'm listening to music, do I use headphones? Occasionally.
All right. So I don't know if you remember when the iPod first came out, and
I do.
The big thing was all about, you've got these little tiny earbuds, and you stick them in your thing.
They're not good for you.
Well, either way, they everywhere I go on the street, you see people with these white little earbud thingies and everything. So the big
mine have Green Lantern symbols.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I would expect no less. But you just I would thought the trend was going towards these little tiny earbuds you stick in your thing. I didn't personally like them. When I'm at the gym, I wear like a neck band. I don't know if you're familiar. They wrap around your ears.
No.
It's great. I love it. However, the one thing I've noticed is, and I've seen this on the street, people walking by, earphones are like personal earphones, not like if you're a DJ in a club or anything. Right. They're getting larger and larger and larger.
Yes.
And I think the current brand right now is called Beats by Dre. I think Dr. Dre endorses a brand. There's even controversial commercials right now with San Francisco Niner quarterback Kaepernick. Have you heard about that guy? He's kind of some controversial wearing these giant headphones. And I just was kind of sitting there, I'm like, I just don't understand. We work so hard to make them small, and now you kids want to make them big, and you put them on your head.
Well, do you want an explanation, or do you just be grouchy?
Give me an explanation, because I really want to understand.
Well, what they've discovered is that the earbuds are actually because we tend to listen to our music loud. Hours, but even me when I'm putting on a Johnny Mathis jam
or like a Mel Torme or
yes.
something.
Oh yeah, you
Google it, guys. Google
the Velvet Fog, and I want it to come over my brain. We tend to listen to it too loud, and the earbuds go directly on the ear, so that actually the little cilia in your ear.
So it's like smoking. They
get flattened out, and they don't have a recovery time or space. The vibrations just keep pounding at it. So if you have the cans, the big headphones, then there's space, and actually there's better recovery space.
But that also, though, with those ones that cover, don't they cover the airflow to your ears, which is bad too, isn't that correct? Because that was part of the thing. They used to have the big headphones back in the 70s and stuff.
Do you breathe through your ears?
No, but apparently you need some kind of oxygen in there.
Everything does. It's sort of like the Goldfinger effect. You need oxygen on your skin and to heal. So
I know, I'm just saying, it's just kind of crazy to me that we're getting
that's why
bigger.
The best thing you should do is actually be carrying around huge speakers
or a boombox like they did in the 80s.
Why
isn't that coming back?
I've seen a couple of iHome things.
It's like two headphones. And you can walk. You just put a band over the two boom boxes.
You know what's even better?
Rest them on your shoulders.
And then you attach an 8-track tape player to it.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So
I'm just saying.
Maybe reel to reel. Maybe just sing to yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too. These are like noise canceling headphones. And
I don't understand that one.
They just cut you out from the world. It's like people. There are other human beings walking the world with you. Say hello to them. Shake their hand. Maybe not shake their hand. Maybe they have germs, but. Experience the world around you. Don't close it out with these giant, ugly, just ridiculous headphones. Anyways, that's my gripe.
I can't hear you. I put on my Mime headphones. They canceled.
They're giant. They're so big.
They're lawn canceling.
They're so big and fluffy.
With sesame seeds on them.
I digress. Let's move forward. We're going to talk about a few things this week that will hopefully interest you. Will pique your funny bone.
I hope they interest us.
Well, I hope they interest us, because if not, we're screwed.
The robot overlord shut us down.
But let's go. Let's start our show now, and let's go to our cover story this week. Hit it, boys.
Is Michael Bay doing our graphics? Because that was
no Michael Bolton is doing our graphics, but not the one you know.
Right.
The one from Office Space.
No, that's the one I know.
Oh, okay, good. All right, yeah, he's doing it. So our cover story
There's
this
another.
week, speaking of funny people like Michael Bolton, have you seen his commercials, by the way? He's making a comeback.
Yes, I know.
On what is it, like a Chrysler or something?
I blame Lonely Island because of that Jack Sparrow song. Yeah.
And all the kids know him as, that's the Jack Sparrow guy.
Yep.
When in reality is he's
20 years ago we thought he sucked.
I kind of like that one song he did, the one... I was trapping you to see if you knew it. Anyways,
I also didn't like the way your fingers were waggling for that one. It was a little.
You didn't like this?
No, I did not.
Like my Michael Bolton fingers.
No.
Anyways,
guys, kill the camera.
So So the big news this week, or actually the announcement last Friday came through, was a little thing that happens once a year.
I don't think it's
not Christmas.
I don't think it's a little thing.
It's the SF Sketchfest, the San Francisco Comedy Festival, coming in January 23rd. Through February 9th, 2014.
Okay.
We've got, I don't know, you can see on the screen here, we've got a lot of cool things are happening. They're having a 10th anniversary of
I can't believe it's been 10
Napoleon
years.
Dynamite.
And John Heder will convince us he could play other roles.
Tenacious D is going to be performing, I believe, at that actual performance.
Didn't you make me see that movie?
I'm not sure. They're going to have a 30th anniversary of Revenge of the Nerds. They're going to have a special presentation from the Futurama guys.
Going to try to figure out how to revive them again.
Amy Schumer and her boobies are going to be there.
Oh, yes.
Chris Hardwick
of the
Nerdist podcast. They will be doing a Nerdist podcast in San Francisco. And Maya Rudolph will be doing a cover performance with her
Princess?
Yeah, it's like Princess. It's like a Prince cover band. Yeah. So, and Maya Rudolph, very talented lady. I believe she went to school at Santa Cruz, right? UC Santa Cruz? Yeah, so she's a local girl, partly, maybe.
Really, she's an LA girl, but
sure.
Yeah.
You know her mom is like Minnie Riperton, right?
Yes.
That's
not
awesome.
Like Minnie Riperton. Her mom is
Minnie Riperton. Well, maybe her mom likes Minnie Riperton.
In fact, she sings Maya Rudolph's name at the end of Loving You.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Does she go, Maya Rudolph?
No, she says Maya, Maya, Maya.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't know if she put the Rudolph in. Anyways.
No, that's a different song.
So basically, Key and Peele also will be there.
I love them.
They're going to do a tribute to Alan Arkin.
Father of improv. He was with the Second City way back when.
He's the father of improv?
No, he was one of the first improv artists in the country.
I didn't know that.
With Second City and the Compass Players.
Now, have you ever been to the SF Sketchfest?
I have not.
I have never either, but I've always, it always comes around in January, and it's basically one of those where I've always wanted to go, and it always kind of sneaks up on me. So we're really kind of happy.
Well, it's sneaky, and it's always a busy time for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's right after the holidays. Everybody's broke, but all this talent comes to San Francisco. It's many different venues that they kind of perform at. It's not just like one night.
Well, and the thing I want to see the most out of there is the Thrilling Adventure Hour, which I've just discovered as a podcast. It's an old-time radio show, or it's a podcast in the style of old-time radio where they do these just parody versions of old radio shows. And it's really funny, really great, and big key thing in L.A. that the Largo at the Coronet Theater,
the Largo. That's the hippest spot right now.
Yeah, it is the hippest spot in L.A. So they're coming up to perform.
Awesome. Well, let's go over a little bit of the schedule. I don't have actual dates here. If you want the actual dates, you can go to www.sfsketchfest.com. They'll have the newest kind of schedule and dates and events. But we did mention there were a couple big events and tributes. Alan Arkin was one. Napoleon Dynamite is another one. Key and Peele. They've got some film events going on. They're, like I said, the Revenge of the Nerds one. They also have
Top Secret,
the 30th anniversary. I know it's a personal fave of both of ours.
Wow, but I just can't. Again, it's just weird to just go. Yeah, it's been 30 years. As I said, as we were prepping, I have the EP back on vinyl
of Nick Rivers.
Nick Rivers' 5 songs. Your Skeetin' Heart, Skeet Surfin'.
Skeet Surfin'.
Skeet Surfin'
Heart is pretty good though.
But your Skeetin' Heart was on when it goes like the Billboard top 5.
Oh,
and it was
right.
And the top 5 are all Nick Rivers. They're all something about Skeet. But Skeet
those
Surfing
are-
was the one that they actually recorded.
And if they don't know who Nick Rivers is, Val Kilmer in one of his first roles, right? Like
I think that was his first role.
Before he was Iceman, before he was
Real
Batman,
Genius.
before he was any other man.
He was Nick Rivers.
Nick Rivers.
And he was awesome. I love that movie.
Pretty hilarious. Let's go. We got to run through this. Also, 20 years have gone by. They're doing a tribute to Cabin Boy, Chris Elliott. I don't know if you're a fan.
I have never seen Cabin Boy.
I've never seen it all the way through, but I've watched Chris Elliott on David Letterman forever. So, he's awesome.
Is that movie good? I don't know.
We don't know if it's good, but we know it's Chris Elliott.
It doesn't matter at
he's
a certain
awesome.
point, does it? Okay.
Doug Benson will be there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Doug Benson. He's kind of a stoner comic, and he does like the Doug Benson interruption where they'll show movies and then they just kind of interrupt and make jokes.
I call that
cool.
my podcast when Lon Lopez was on it.
They have this one here that I think could be very entertaining. It's the 30th anniversary Footloose Dance Along. I've heard of sing-alongs.
It could be entertaining. It could be
quote-alongs.
horrible, and I hope they have paramedics standing by.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting.
Oh, man.
Not only are they focusing on film, they have some TV spotlights. They're doing a spotlight, which you said earlier.
I'll tell you, as an improv fan, I'm going to say, because I looked over this, the one thing I really recommend, because I have the DVD of it, Upright Citizens Brigade's Ass Cat show.
Ass Cat, they're going to be doing.
Ass Cat is hilarious and,
Okay.
and absolutely seeing, if you're an improv fan, as obviously I am as an improv artist as well, that is a bunch of guys at the top of their game, plus featuring Andy Daly, who is one
He's
of
a groundling, right?
Andy Daly started as a groundling, but you know him best from Eastbound and Down. He's the high school principal in the first season.
He's actually done like a couple Nickelodeon shows too, didn't he?
Yeah,
Or
he's
something?
just really, really funny,
all
and
over
he's
the place.
great on Ass Cat because he was in the Will Ferrell basketball movie, but he's just really good at playing
Semi-pro.
at playing the uptight and just making it the dirtiest thing, and while still being completely uptight. He's hilarious.
So TV spotlights. I'm gonna run through this real fast. They're doing Inside Amy Schumer, which we mentioned she's going to be there. Cast of Futurama is going to be there. Your favorite, the Venture Brothers, are going to have.
I love the Venture Brothers, but actually Doc and Jackson aren't there. It's cast members.
Still, though, if you're a fan of the show, you might want to check it out.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I do have Michael Sinter Niklas, who is
no one
Dean.
knows who that is.
That is Dean
All right,
Venture.
moving
I have
on.
him on speed dial.
They're going to have some live radio events. They're going to have some theatrical events. Thomas Lennon is going to be there, one of our favorite screenwriters.
I drank with him once.
Okay. All right. We'll find some more people Derek knows on here. Bobcat Goldthwait. This is another interesting one. Do you know him?
Not personally.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to this event. I would love to be there.
They're doing a live reading of Shakes the Clown, reprising their film roles.
It's
film roles in front of an audience.
It is the Citizen Kane of alcoholic clown movies.
Yeah, it was a trippy movie. I don't know if I've still fully recovered from watching Shakes the Clown.
I love that movie. I love
and like
that.
you said, improvisation and sketch comedy.
And Florence Henderson is going to be there. She's from the original cast of Shakes the Clown. She'll be there.
I bet you she's still good to go, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, she is a minx. Like you said, ASCAT's going to be another improv group that I'm looking forward to see is a new group coming up called the Birthday Boys. I don't know if you guys are familiar. It's like Bob Odenkirk's new kind of group. Dave liked a group. What was the group you liked? Britannic or something like that?
They did that Oscar-winning film short or Oscar-winning trailer. Yeah.
So our segment producer likes that. So Britannic.
they're funny.
So there's a lot of good improv stuff going. We also mentioned musical stuff. Maya Rudolph's doing hers. What's the girl from Community? Allison Brie has a cover band or like a.
I didn't know called The Girls.
The Girls. They're going to be there.
Them, so that's...
Megan Mullally from Will and Grace will be performing with. They have a group called Nancy and Beth, which I guess they do kind of a singing songwriter kind of thing. I don't know.
There's a lot of fun stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. Podcasts we mentioned, stand-up shows. Gilbert Godfrey's going to be there. David Koechner from Anchorman.
Oh, he swore at me once.
And one of my personal favorites, Michael Winslow from Police Academy, is going to be there doing a meeting of the sound effects wizards with him and Reese Darby. It's going to be insane. It's going to be crazy.
Well, I would love it if Key and Peele then did the Michael Winslow versus Bobby McFerrin
that sketch. Was brilliant. I would love that. And then there's just a ton of other things. There's even like
are we going to be there?
A comedy. We're gonna try and cover it for you guys out there. So maybe you'll see us around. Maybe you'll see us talking to people. I don't know.
That'd be great.
But also there's a comedy meets science thing. I thought I could have swore that Bill Nye was going to be there, but I don't see him on
here. It's other
here.
science podcasts through the California Museum of Arts and Sciences.
Anyways, SF Sketchfest is coming to San Francisco.
It gets bigger every year, and it's getting more important in comedy every year.
And it's a little thing. Yeah, it started as a little thing, and now it's just becoming this huge thing. January 23rd, February 9th. Go to
like Skynet.
Go to sfsketchfest.com for all your festival information, and let us know if there's something you would like us to cover. And this, just like you said, it is just like Skynet. And that brings us to our next topic. And that brings us to our Versus segment. And we're back. I just got kicked in the face by that foot.
How often does that happen?
Every day
At
of my
least
life.
once a week.
Every day.
Yeah.
So today, Derek, we're talking, you mentioned Skynet. So speaking of Skynet, a lot of Skynet news, a lot of cyborg news.
I just want to point out that Google bought Boston Robotics last week, which is a company that is they specialize in making animal replicas.
Are they the ones that made that like donkey, like alpaca kind of?
So I think
pack
so.
Animal
I think
that
so.
Scares the shit out of me.
So. I don't know.
Okay.
Suddenly, I've got a new fear to take advantage of with you. Look, cybernetic alpaca. It doesn't have a rhythm to it, but
will it carry my goods?
Maybe.
Okay. Then
but that's the question.
Then
Is like Google is Google going to create with a self-driving car where they've got cybernetic might get people?
Wait a minute.
And Google Glass, and it sounds an awful lot like here's this computer company that's an internet company that is basically creating all mankind's knowledge up in the cloud.
Wait a minute. Who started Google again? Was it Miles Dyson?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh my God, it's happening!
It's happening.
But that's not what we're here to talk about, Derek. We're here to talk about Terminator. The reason I mentioned Miles
that's
Dyson
happening. That's why.
Because he directed Terminator. So, anyways,
and invented a great vacuum cleaner.
Yes, and it really sucks. Anyways, so basically, Terminator news last week. They had announced that they're rebooting the Terminator franchise, and they've got a new name for it, and that name Genesis. So basically, the Terminator is going to start playing drums for this 3-man prog rock band, and he's going to replace Peter Gabriel, and then he's going to break off and have his own cool solo career where no jacket is required. Look that up, people. Anyways, kids in the
I was with you, and right there, that sounded like a far more interesting movie than it's actually going to be.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, basically,
are we versus then, maybe, or are we going to be arguing from the same side? I can't remember.
I don't know. The guys are telling me the Terminator package isn't working, so that's okay. We're going to riff.
We had a Terminator package? Okay, well, oh, dang it.
It's okay.
Man, if that door gets busted down and then this robot comes in and shoots us, I'm going to be pissed.
That's okay. We are going to go through the story we had anyway. But yes, it's called Terminator Genesis, and a lot of announcements came through. And basically, they were saying that casting has happened.
They announced Emilia Clarke, who
is that again?
It's the mother of dragons on Game of Thrones.
Oh, she's a mother of dragons.
And she's the girlfriend of Seth MacFarlane.
Is she really?
Yes.
He's dragging that out?
Yes, he is.
Wow. Okay.
And so she's going to play Sarah Connor.
Okay.
Now,
and is Arnie going to be back?
He says he is. He's the only one who says he is.
He says that all the time.
I know.
I'll be back.
I'd be big.
There she is. And there she isn't. Oh, she's bugging out. It's okay. We got a couple pictures of her, but it's okay. So, yeah, she is on the Game of Thrones, but I think the one problem I had was, didn't she say on Game of Thrones she wasn't going to do nudity anymore? Even after
true.
She'd done tons of nudity on Game of Thrones?
That's right.
And I don't know about you, but I like my Sarah Connor nude.
Why?
I mean,
when was she nude? When was she
Linda
nude?
Hamilton?
When
she was making John Connor the first time. So
no, we never saw anything.
Oh, she got.
No, we
she
did not.
showed her Hamiltons all over the place.
No, we did not.
My segment producer is saying yes. He's giving me the.
You guys are. Come on. Now he's young. I understand.
Either way.
Get over it.
What
You're
do we
an
think?
Age, it's got to be about.
But here's the confusing thing. If this is going to be a straight up reboot, we have Arnold coming back, which is weird because do we want a 70-year-old cyborg?
Well, see, not knowing for sure and not getting confirmation from the producers about Arnold coming back, there had been a theory that what he was going to play was actually the character
who invented
the human that they modeled the cyborgs after, which was cut from Terminator 3. they did actually shoot.
Which one was Terminator 3?
That was The Rise of the Machines.
Oh, is that where he fights the chick?
Yes.
Okay, that was weird.
And at the end there was a scene where they had shown the prototypes of the Terminators that were actually developed by the U.S. military and had modeled it after. It's a ridiculous. Look this up on YouTube. It is a ridiculous scene where they've dubbed a ridiculous Gomer Pye-like voice over Arnold Schwarzenegger's mouthings.
What is this on? Where can I find this?
You can find it on YouTube. It's like deleted scene from Terminator 3.
All right. Well, are you sure it wasn't bad lip readings version of it?
No. It's because he's in a military uniform and he's like, I'm so proud that they're going to use my face and I'm the ultimate soldier.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, it's really
We
bad.
are looking this up as soon as this show is over. We are going to find this.
So, I mean, the thing is
okay, go ahead.
that James Cameron, who wrote and directed the original Terminator,
and ultimately sold it for millions of dollars.
Yes, but he gets the rights, but he didn't sell it. I mean, basically, in order to get the movie made, like Carol Coe or Orion was who originally released it, he gave up the rights to get it made, and so the rights reversed to him in 2017. So what you've got is rights holders right now desperate to squeeze every dollar they can out of the Terminator franchise because they think that it still has a place.
Well, see, the other thing I found interesting is that they also announced other casting this week, which was, I believe his name is Jason Clarke. They're both last name Clarke, no relation. He was on a cop drama on Fox for like a season. I think it was called like Chicago Heat or Chicago Cop or something. Anyways, they cast.
You could be a Fox
he's
executive.
Up for the role of John Connor, which is weird for me because John Connor doesn't appear in the first Terminator movie. So if it's a Terminator reboot, why are they going to have grown, or at least young Sarah Connor, grown John Connor, no Kyle Reese? Unless John Connor is his own dad. Because then that would be just weird, you know what I mean? But maybe interesting.
I'm so afraid that's where you were going.
Maybe it's interesting. I don't know. But how do you do a Terminator reboot and not have Kyle Reese? You know what I'm saying? You've got to cast Kyle Reese. And don't bring back Anton Yelchin, the 14-year-old boy.
That made no sense.
That was crazy.
Although it's still, my favorite memory from Terminator Salvation is the giant Terminator and how afterwards we imagined you as the giant Terminator picking up the house.
What are we talking about?
No, it was just a thing from Terminator Salvation, which
was
a terrible
flashbacks?
movie. I was having flashbacks.
Either way, how do we feel about a Terminator reboot?
Well,
Derek?
see, I liked the Sarah Connor Chronicles, the TV show they did, and I thought
you were the only one.
I am not the only one who liked that, but it featured an older Sarah Connor, a tougher, and the thing
who was also on Game of Thrones.
Yes, and I like Emilia Clarke. Don't get me wrong; I'm sure she's a fine actress. Mother of Dragons is not necessarily the most challenging. She tends to just kind of be stoic.
She speaks in other languages, though.
And she talks to dragons.
Mm-hmm. I love that song, by the way. She talks to dragons.
But I think of Sarah Connor as an older, tougher woman.
No, but not in the first one. She was a scared little girl who's like, I can't be the mother of the future.
Linda Hamilton was never a scared little girl. Why does, I don't know why I'm even asking why it should always come back to boobies with you, but
because that's what made the future happen. Rise of the Machines. Why do you think Rise is in the title? Just think about it.
So Either the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all saw Talia and Catwoman in that leather suit.
You are a moron.
Anyways, moving forward, will you pay money to see a Terminator reboot?
Well, no, I'm hoping I'll get a press pass.
Oh, okay. But do you think it's necessary?
No, I don't think it's necessary. I was fine. It's done.
Yeah.
I was glad after Salvation was bad that it's like, oh, that's done. I don't need
ultimately,
to see it.
What's the story of Terminator? You got to go back to kill the mom of the leader of the uprising. Mm-hmm. That's your story, really. Mm-hmm. That's it. You did it in 2 movies. You did it in 2 movies.
Done.
It was good.
Right. And Terminator 2 was fantastic, and Terminator 3 was all right, and then Terminator 4 sucked. And I liked there was interesting things with the Sarah Connor Chronicles implying that there were 2 different computer intelligences that were actually fighting each other for dominance, and so that's been done. So I don't know what's left except to
you want to know real
do
fast.
it younger and hipper.
I'm going to just do this real fast. Sarah Connor Chronicles. If anybody watched, there was one important flaw in the TV series that they did not explain. I don't know if you watched it, but there's part of the first couple episodes when they kill the first Terminator that's going after them. They're jumping back in time, and a Terminator head goes through the portal.
Yes.
Okay? That is rebooting everything in the Terminator lore because the whole reason they put the skin on and everything is because mechanical, unorganic stuff can't go through back in time.
Okay.
So they blew it. Right there, when that happened, I was all, I'm done with the show. Don't follow its own rules. I'm over it. But if maybe Lena Headey started showing some boobies, then maybe I'll be back.
That was going back in time, but the head went forward in time.
Oh, maybe
it's
maybe
possible.
it can go forward.
Maybe
in
it
time.
can go forward. Yeah,
Damn it! I'm gonna have to rewatch that show now.
It was a good show.
All right, we got to move on. We're running out of time.
Well, whose fault is that?
It's all of ours. It's all of our faults. We're all guilty. Anyways, let's go to our Geek of the Week. Who is it?
I don't know. I just love the graphics.
I love that jam. What is that?
I just want to see a little cartoon Lon just go out into the middle of that dance floor.
Like the whammy on whatever price. What is it? Press Your Luck or whatever like that. Our Geek of the Week this week is a man who has given us so much and asked for so little in return. Our Geek of the Week this week is somebody who had a really good month last month and who basically got...
So it's your stockbroker?
No, I don't own any stocks. But basically who...
That's right, you have no future.
Ended a show, but with the promise of getting a new show. And so our Geek of the Week this week is Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan.
Ah, yes.
Because it was announced today or this week, I'm not sure, that basically his new show, Better Call Saul, which is based on the Bob Odenkirk character, lawyer
so it's
Saul.
Kind of a prequel to...
They're saying it could be either a prequel, a sequel, whatever. It's one of those.
Midquel?
And but basically, he was announced today that he signed a new contract with Sony Television for a couple of the shows. He's working with a producer who did House MD. I don't have the actual titles.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's basically signed on for a couple new shows. And for Better Call Saul, he's made a deal with Netflix that once the season finale airs, next day it will hit Netflix in the U.S. and in Europe and a couple other countries. So,
well, no, you misread that. No, while it's running in on the U.S. Was it AMC?
Yeah,
Breaking
AMC.
Bad. Mm-hmm. Okay, then it will be running on the U.K.
simultaneously
on Netflix because Netflix runs the way that the U.S. Netflix is kept separate. There wouldn't be a way to pirate.
And I guess I also read where the article I was reading, it basically said that England had canceled it or something beforehand, and then before season 3. So it actually grew.
To be on Netflix.
Yeah, it needed to go through Netflix.
That suddenly makes sense. That's more detail than I had. So that's good.
So Vince Gilligan is our Geek of the Week. We're really happy for him. Wish we had more time to gush about it and talk about him, but it's really cool that basically he finished like a champ. Breaking Bad ended it, but now he's not done. He's not going away. We're going to get more cool Vince Gilligan stories.
No, and he's paving the way for the future with Netflix again.
Exactly.
Netflix.
Is it all right? So we're just
Cyberdyne
about out of
or
time.
Netflix?
I'm getting a signal, so we're going to wrap it up. We want to thank you guys for watching Moron vs. Fanboy. I'm Lon Lopez from MoronLife.com.
I'm Derek McCaw from FanboyPlanet.com. You can follow my Facebook page, Fanboy Planet. You can also find the Twitter feed at Fanboy Planet.
You can also find us on Twitter at MoronLife. Thanks again to our director, Rudy Loida, our segment producer, Dave McGuire. Check us out next time on Moron vs. Fanboy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.